verbo tener y el verbo venir, que son más o menos irregulares, pero vamos a ver cómo son. Ok, y para presentar esta información, vamos a hablar de mi rutina. Ustedes ya han hablado de sus rutinas los lunes y ahora mi rutina los lunes. Y claro, necesitan enfocar en mi rutina y también vamos a prestar atención a la gramática. Bueno, para mí personalmente, yo vengo al campus a las 8 de la mañana con mis hijos, porque mis hijos asisten a la escuelita en la calle Wentworth, que se llama, es parte de College of Charleston, la escuelita que mis hijos asisten. Se llama ECDC, está al lado de las casas de fraternidad en la calle Wentworth. Es muy pequeña, pero es parte de College of Charleston. Es para los profesores y los otros empleados de College of Charleston. Entonces yo vengo al campus con ellos. Llegamos a las 8 de la mañana y, bueno, chicos, como ustedes probablemente, ir a clase a las 9 siempre tenemos prisa, ¿no? Siempre tenemos prisa. Mis hijos por la mañana mueven muy lentamente, no son rápidos por la mañana, caminan lentamente. Yo estoy como, vamos chicos, tengo clase, vamos. Entonces, ¿entienden ustedes? ¿Tienen prisa? It's like, vamos, es la hora. ¿Cómo se dice prisa? To what? Hurry, exactly. Prisa is a hurry. Prisa is being in a hurry. Llegar a tiempo. What do you think llegar a tiempo means? Well, we just talked about the verb llegar. Arrive on time. Excelente, Connor. To arrive on time. So we're always in a hurry to arrive on time. Niños no tienen idea de la hora ni las rutinas. ¿Tienen ustedes prisa por la mañana? ¿Tienen prisa para llegar a... No, porque tú tienes clase a las 8, ¿no? Pero para el resto de nosotros, que tenemos clase a las 9, no a las 8, ¿tienen prisa normalmente los lunes? No, Katie, no. Angela, sí. Connor, Greg, sí. No, normalmente por la mañana, especialmente en los Estados Unidos, es importante llegar a tiempo y tenemos prisa. Vamos, es la hora. Ok, y atención a este verbo. Tenemos prisa. So what does this mean again, prisa? To hurry. And in English, we say to be in a hurry, right? But in Spanish, the verb to be is what? It's either ser or estar. So we don't use ser or estar. With prisa, we actually use this verb tener. And tener is tenemos here because the subject is who? Who's the subject of tener here? We. Mis hijos y yo tenemos. Okay? Tenemos. So we are in a hurry, tenemos prisa. Y a las 9 yo tengo clase, trabajo toda la mañana hasta las 12. Yo tengo clase. Ustedes tienen clase. ¿Qué clase tenemos a las 9? ¿Qué clase tenemos a las 9? La clase de español. Son las 9 más o menos y estamos en clase. Yo tengo clase. Ustedes tienen clase a las 9. Tenemos clase. So what's this saying? Yo tengo clase. I have class. Right, exactly. And how do you know I'm talking about myself? Because of yo, and also, what does our verb end in? The letter O. But what's weird about this verb? G-O. That's why this is on a separate page in your book. It's not categorized with comer, beber, deber, describir, abrir, etc. So even though it ends in the letter O, we also include the letter G. Tango. Have you ever heard tango before? Some of you all have used it in class, and I'm like, they probably had Spanish before. 101. Some people come into 101 never having had Spanish in their life. And others come into 101 having, some sort of Spanish background, but not sufficient enough to go into the other track at College of Charleston, 190. 190 is a 3-semester completion of the foreign language requirement, but 101 is a 4-semester. And that's for most of us who maybe had a little Spanish or maybe not enough. So tengo, I've heard some of you all even use it. Tengo clase. It's saying what again? I what? I have. So today we're going to be talking about this verb that means to have, and we're going to learn some other expressions with it, like tenemos prisa, which is like saying I have hurry, but really that doesn't translate like that. Some things don't translate literally in different languages. What's something in English that wouldn't make sense if you said it in Spanish? Can you think of an expression or something? Here's one. What's up? What's up in Spanish is que pasa, but pasa doesn't mean up. Arriba means up. So if you really translated what's up to somebody literally into Spanish, they would look up. And they'd be like, I don't know, what is up there? So things don't always translate perfectly. And today, basically everything that we're learning, tenemos prisa, doesn't translate literally. It means to be in a hurry, but it really means to have hurry. Okay, yo trabajo toda la mañana. Y a las 12 yo regreso a mi oficina porque yo tengo horas de oficina los lunes, miércoles y viernes a las 12 hasta la 1. ¿No? Y regreso, hemos hablado de regreso. Yo tengo otra vez horas de oficina. So what do I do at 12 o'clock? I have office hours. Right, exactly. Yo tengo horas de oficina. And notice, clase, horas. I don't use the article after tengo, okay? I just say tengo horas. If I had, like I have a dog, I would say, tengo perro or something like that. We don't use the articles always with the verb tener. Okay, y a la 1 yo tengo mucha hambre. Now, mucha hambre. I'm going to start with this one. Yo tengo mucha hambre. So here's another expression. It doesn't translate literally into English, but based on the illustration and the fact that, I've been working all morning, what do you think this means? Yo tengo mucha hambre. A la 1, Angela. I am very hungry. Right, exactly. To be hungry. Otra vez. Normally, Sarah Nastar means to be, but this is an expression with tener, hambre. So it really means to have hunger, which is why we use mucha, because it's a noun, instead of muy. Like, yo estoy muy bien. We usually use muy with adjectives, but this is not necessarily an adjective. It's really a noun. Mucha hambre. And it's feminine, so careful with that on the supersite. Yo tengo. Yo llevo a mis hijos a nuestra casa. So at 1 o'clock, what do? What's llevo a mis hijos a nuestra casa? Repite? Yeah, see, hijos are kids. But what's llevo?
Leave.
Almost. What do? Well, I blank my kids to where?
You take your kids.
I take my kids to where? Our house, exactly. I take. So when you take somebody somewhere, you use the verb llevar. We know the verb tomar means to take, but tomar means to take like take a test or take a class. Tomar un examen, tomar una clase. But when you give someone a ride somewhere, if you take somebody to somewhere, you use llevo. And I have to use this little a. This is something else that might pop up on the super site. When the object, so the subject here is yo, and you'll learn more about this in 102, and again, actually a couple times in 102, so listen carefully. My subject is yo, and we can tell that because my verb ends in o, but when your object, mis hijos, is a person, you use what's called a personal a before the people after the verb. You're always, if you're like, saying that you listen to a teacher in class, like your behavioral, what is it, science? Neuroscience, even more complex. So I would say, Alexa, escucha a su profesor en su clase a las 8. Profesor is the object, Alexa is the subject. She's the one who's listening, but she's listening to her teacher, so she uses a. And then, por último, yo tengo mucha hambre. ¿Qué hago yo? Yo como un sándwich en mi casa, ¿ok? A la 1. Ok, bueno. Entonces, hemos hablado de sus rutinas los lunes. ¿Cómo son? Por ejemplo, la rutina de Alexa los lunes es muy larga. En cambio, la rutina de Kevin los lunes es muy corta, ¿no? Kevin viene o llega al campus a las 9 para la clase de español y regresa a su casa a las 10, una hora después. Pero pobre Alexa está aquí todo el día. Bueno, entonces hemos hablado con otras personas, pero ahora tengo otro verbo. ¿A qué hora vienes al campus los lunes? So I changed the verb from what to what. Originally, at the beginning of class, what verb did we use? Llegas, right? Llegar, which means what again? To arrive. Alexa llega a las 8. Kevin llega a las 9. But I changed it to vienes, which is like a synonym. So what's a synonym to arrive, even in English, that vienes might mean in Spanish? What time do you come? Exactly. These mean the same thing. They mean the exact same thing, you know, more or less. Arrive, come. It's basically the same thing. Y vienes es muy semejante al verbo tener. Son más o menos iguales. Ok, y bueno chicos, hemos hablado de nuestras rutinas. Hablamos de las rutinas antes de clase o antes de esta presentación. Entonces, ¿quiénes en este grupo tienen clase los lunes antes de español? Es decir, la clase de español, nuestra clase, es a las 9. Y Alexa tiene clase antes de la clase de español porque Alexa tiene una clase a las 8. ¿Quiénes más en la clase de español tienen clase los lunes antes de español? Katie, ¿tú también tienes clase a las 8? Ugh. ¿Y Connor? ¿Tienes clase a las 8? Oh, después, pero a las 8 no. So, Alexa y Katie, solamente. ¿Sí? Solo Alexa y Katie. John, ¿no tienes clase a las 8? ¿Tienes clase a las 8 o a las 10?
A las 10.
A las 10, sí, ok. Está bien. Alexa, Katie y John llegan al campus más temprano que nosotros, ¿no? Tienen clase a las 8. Y chicos, regresando a la gramática, ¿cómo se dice tienen? They what? Alexa, Katie, and John have class before Spanish class. Antes de means before. And you'll learn that in 102 as well in the spring. Tienen. So what's different about tienen, or what's similar about tienen versus the ER, IR verbs that we learned earlier this week? Or last week? Angela.
Has an E for the I mean before the I before the E.
I before the E, exactly. So the verb tener, the stem is ten. But then we have this little change, and this is called a stem changing verb. In chapter 4, our last chapter this semester, you're going to learn all sorts of different stem changing verbs. That's what they're called because they're stem changes. It's not a very original or creative name, but basically the stem in this verb changes from E to IE. But the reason why this is not presented in chapter 4 with all the other stem changing verbs is because the yo form is also very weird. Tango, Okay? What's similar though? The stem is different. But what is similar about this verb and the verbs that we learned earlier this week? Shannon? It still ends in en. Our ending is still in the letter N because why? Why does it end in the letter N? What do we know about verbs in the letter N? Is it singular or plural, this verb? It's plural. And I just want to reiterate that we make nouns and adjectives and articles plural by the letter S. But we don't make verbs plural using the letter S because why? The letter S on a verb is the to form. Exactly. En is a plural form of a verb and sometimes, well, most. For nosotros. Ok, hablando de la forma de tú y las formas plurales, aquí tenemos los verbos. Yo tengo, and careful, when you copy this on your chart, make sure you write T-E-N-G-O. Because a lot of people think of tango, el baile argentino. It's T-E-N-G-O, not T-A-N-G-O. T-A-N-G-O is a dance from Argentina. Tengo. Yo tengo 3 hermanos. Yo tengo una familia simpática. Nosotros tenemos clase a las 9. Katie y Alexa y John tienen clase a las 8. No? So we talked about some things that are different, and we talked about some things that are the same. So just to review, what's different about this verb tener? Why is it not presented with the other verbs this chapter? What are some weird things about this verb? It's a stem changing verb, exactly. And notice, I have it listed here, but you're putting it in the form of a chart on your paper. And as you're copying it, you'll notice when you copy it that what forms do not have a stem change. Yo and nosotros, and if you're in Spain, vosotros. Whoops, why did I highlight that? Okay, only the two, usted, el, ella form, and the ustedes and ellos form. So you might want to highlight that. What else is weird about this verb? Why else is it not presented with the other verbs this chapter? Tango, exactly, tango. Okay? So these are things, the verb tener means to have. And you will use this verb so much. Students don't really struggle learning the verb tener because we use it so much when we're speaking Spanish. So apply that knowledge and that practicality of this verb to the verb venir. Venir we don't use as much. Whoops, I said to have. It does not mean to have. What does venir mean? Come, exactly. To come. It's like llegar. Very similar to the verb llegar. They're practically synonymous. ¿A qué hora llegas al campus? ¿A qué hora vienes al campus? Sí.
So does it matter at like what time you use them? Like what
However you want.
it doesn't
Nope, they're totally interchangeable. Yep, I hear both. Whichever you're. Llegar's, I think, nice because, it's not irregular at all. So you might want to use llegar because it's easier to conjugate. But like I said, the verb tener, students don't have any issues learning the verb tener because we use have so much. We talk about what we have all the time. And what do tener and venir have in common? So first of all, what's the yo form of tener? Tango. And the yo form of venir is vengo. What else is similar about this verb with tener? The stem change, exactly, the stem change. Again, in the to form, the usted form, the el, ella form, but not in nosotros or vosotros, ustedes, ellos, ellas. So why on your paper do I have you repeat ustedes with ellos and ellas? Why do I make you write the verb conjugation 2 times? Why do you think that is? It's the same verb, it's the same conjugation. Viene, usted viene, el, ella viene. Why would I want you to write usted viene and keep it separate from él and ella viene? Why do you think that is? Repite? They mean two completely different things. So I just want to point out that this is first person, okay? And nosotros is also first person. The difference is these are our singular forms and these are our plural forms. So when you hear somebody say first person plural, they're referring to we, okay? First person singular, they're referring to I, which I know you know this because you're college students, but you probably haven't thought about first person singular or third person plural since you were in grade school. Tu and usted are not first person. What do you refer to tu and usted? Second person. Right, exactly, second person. So maybe in your English class, your professor will say, you're not supposed to use second person when you're writing. Like academic writing, you don't use the word you when you're writing, and you don't do it in Spanish either. There's actually a whole other concept that you'll learn in 201 about that. What's our second person plural forms? If tu and usted are our second person singular forms, what are our second person plural forms? Vosotros and ustedes, okay? So these mean two different things as well. Tu and usted mean different things than él and ella, and ustedes means something different than ellos and ellas. But how would you translate tu and usted into English? Second person singular in English is what? You. Second person plural in English is what? You all. Exactly. You all are you guys. And then what does that leave él and ella, or ellos and ellas? Right. So what is this called? It's not first person. It's not second person. It's third person, okay? So I know this is a bit of a grammar review, in English even, but on your papers, you might want to organize this information. Singular, plural, first, second, third person. Why? Because if you're doing the super sci or even on the test or the final exam, you can use process of elimination and identify, there's two people's names there. So I'm not going to use yo, tu, usted, él, or ella. Now I just basically have two choices, nosotros or the ustedes, ellas form. So it's really helpful to think about singular and plural, especially superside activities where the subject's kind of hard to find. When you have a dialogue or a conversation, you have to fill in the blanks. So it's really helpful to keep this grammar organized. Okay, so parte dos de esta presentación. Parte una es conocer el verbo tener y las formas y el verbo venir y las formas. Y ahora en la página 75 tenemos expresiones con tener. So remember, expressions don't translate literally into English. So we're going to go through all of these and make them meaningful to us to help us remember them, hopefully. I've already used prisa in previous examples. Tener prisa means what? To be in a hurry. Exactly, to be in a hurry. So, en sus papeles necesitan escribir como se dice tener prisa en inglés. To be in a hurry. Prisa, think of pressure. And hambre? Hungry. They both start with the letter H. Hunger and hurry. Prisa, hambre. Pues yo estoy embarazada. Yo tengo hambre todo el día. Hambre, 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 hambre. ¿No? Por mi bebé. Ok. Vamos a conocer las otras expresiones, ¿no? Que están en la página 75, pero mejor presentadas aquí en esta presentación. Yo tengo calor cuando corro en Charleston, por ejemplo. Ahora no corro, pero normalmente me gusta correr. Y yo tengo calor cuando corro en Charleston. Chicos, ¿qué significa tengo calor? Hot. I'm hot, right? Or to be hot. But again, Tener doesn't mean to be. Estar and ser mean to be. What does tener mean again? To have. So really we're saying I have heat. Yo tengo calor. So if you're really hot, very hot, normally like on Mondays you're really tired, right? Or at 9 o'clock you're really tired. You say muy cansado. Muy is with adjectives. But remember these are nouns. So how would you express being really hot? Tengo what? Mucho calor. Tengo mucho. What's the opposite of mucho? Poco. Poco. Tengo poco calor. Tengo mucho calor. Y ustedes. ¿Cuándo tienen calor ustedes? Tengo opciones para ustedes. So, sí or no. ¿Tienen calor cuando estudian? ¿Sí or no? No, no es lógico. ¿Tienen calor cuando leen? ¿Sí or no? No. ¿Cuando corren? ¿Tienen calor? ¿No? Sí. Cuando corremos, ¿no? So, en sus papeles, chicos, necesitan completar la oración. Yo tengo calor cuando la forma de yo de correr es corro. Gracias, Connor. Corro. O otra persona también. Corro, la forma de yo. ¿No? Pregunta. Sí. Buena pregunta. ¿Cómo se dice cuándo? When. Yep. When are you hot? Yeah. So when you answer that, cuando with the accent mark means when, like in a question. Cuando without an accent mark is when in a statement. So we're saying I'm hot, or I have heat. I'm hot when what? When I run. Tengo calor or tienen calor ustedes in Charleston in agosto? Sí or no? Sí. Poco calor or mucho calor? Mucho calor in Charleston in agosto. ¿Tienen calor en Charleston en diciembre? No, pero Miller sí, porque a veces en Charleston, ¿no? Okay, otra expresión de tener. Tener calor means to be hot. Tener frío means what? Cold, no? Frío. Most of us already knew this or would recognize it immediately. Yo tengo frío en diciembre. Miller no tiene frío en diciembre en Charleston. Y ustedes, cuando tienen frío en diciembre, o cuando tienen frío, perdón, sí o no, ¿tienen frío cuando estudian en la biblioteca? ¿Sí o no? ¿En la biblioteca tienen frío? No, no mucho, un poco. ¿Tienen frío cuando aprenden español en el edificio Bell? No, ahora no calor. ¿Tienen frío cuando corren? No. ¿Tienen frío en Charleston en agosto? No, nunca. ¿Tienen frío en Charleston en diciembre? Miller, no. Pero el resto de clases, sí. So, whoops, I didn't. I'm sorry. You need to change this on your paper. Prisa. Sorry, I copy and paste like it's my job. Frío. So on your papers, you'll write tengo frío cuando. Let's take cuando out if you use in Charleston, in. And notice, we're going to learn this next chapter, so it'll be beneficial now to copy it correctly. ¿Cómo se dice December en español? Diciembre. Diciembre. Lowercase d. D-I-C-I. Diciembre. ¿Ok? Bueno, chicos, vamos a terminar esta presentación en clase lunes y después podemos hacer el repaso del examen.